What's going on, folks? Good evening. I should say Saturday night, September 12th, 2020 is the date. About 9:04 p.m. West Coast time here in Smoky, California, where a lot of the smoke has traveled across the country there. I was just looking at some sunset pictures there in Texas and Oklahoma of some heavy smoke there in the vicinity out there in the southern plains. Pretty crazy how far this smoke can travel. A little bit interesting activity there in Yellowstone National Park there. Kind of have to check that out here in a little bit. Kind of looks like a heartbeat. Take a look at the earthquake 3D globe here on the live stream. Pretty quiet still out here along the west coast. Most of this activity relatively old. The red color rings indicating that age. This 6.1 up here, just about ready to drop off the globe there near Japan. That probably should have actually dropped off, but it will soon. So taking a look at the at least the last 24 hours or so, relatively quiet. Not a whole lot of uptick in earthquake activity out here along the Pacific Ring of Fire. That was definitely different this morning, I should say. When we've seen this, obviously it's still there, but we haven't seen any more new movement in this region. Looks like maybe south of Japan there, along the Pacific Ring of Fire there on this section, this ridge, kind of showing some new activity, I guess, but that's about it. Not a whole lot of new quakes to report. The newest one on the globe is a 4.5 out here in this region of the world near Iran. Pretty common out there, right? A lot of quakes do take place out there in that region. Also, the Puerto Rico area seen some magnitude quakes out there. Just nothing big. 4.4, the largest in that cluster of quakes that's taken place out there. Just seems like an everyday occurrence out there, where they're getting some earthquakes there. So pretty quiet, folks. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map here on the. There's that 4.5 that I was discussing. Ah, man, my throat, eyes still hurt. Let's see here. Okay, tremor map. This is kind of what I'm looking at here. A pretty good size increase in activity out here, southern Oregon and Vancouver Island area, southern tip of it there, if you will. Seen some pretty good tremor going on in that region. Large increase here in southern Oregon. There's just a good massive amount of slippage going along the Cascadia Subduction zone there, and it's kind of on a distance scale. We're not seeing just a bunch of stuff in between. We're just seeing a little bit of activity on the southern part of it, and also towards the northern end of the Cascadia Subduction zone area and inland there near Vancouver Island. So I think activity should be picking up out here on the west coast here as far as earthquake activity goes. Like I said, it's relatively quiet. Let's see where my map went to for today. Must have changed it there. There we go. 2.5 and above from the USGS. You can see a lot of this activity old. This should be dropping off the globe, or at least the map here, pretty soon. So, but with the movement there, the slippage, I think we should see a little bit more activity picking up here. Microquakes. There's always microquakes out here along the plate boundaries of the North American and Pacific plate. That's a given. If there isn't, something is wrong. Nevada's still seeing their typical earthquake activity up there. One starting to, looks like a little migration up there, but that one just occurring, it looks like, with the red dot, if you will. Now it's blue because I clicked on it, but that may be updated there. Sometimes you get these weird quakes in places that are not necessarily happened. A little bit of activity down here. Other than that, folks, pretty quiet. Not a whole lot has changed since the update video this morning. Oregon, older earthquake activity up there. And as far as Yellowstone National Park goes, pretty clean, pretty quiet. This activity right here that you see that's spaced out specifically, kind of like we're seeing on the live seismograph stations there at Yellowstone, Lake Yellowstone. It's starting to look like this. Now this here is distinctly spaced apart and equally the same measurement here. That tells me right there that it's some type of equipment going on. I'm not for sure what kind of equipment they have, but earthquakes are not going to look like that. You know, there's not going to be consistently earthquakes. It could be, who knows what it could be. But we do see it several times a year where it's some type of interference that the station is picking up there. It's just too equal. All these are equally spaced, equally the same measurement, not earthquake related, but interference. And I'm not for sure what type of interference it is, but definitely not showing up on these other stations there. If it was, then I would be like, okay, there's definitely something going on under the ground that's making those specific marks on all these stations. Or it could be some type of inter-network interference as well. Maybe a breakage in the line or some crackle in the line, who knows. But it's not showing up on the other stations. They're just strictly affecting the Lake Butte station there. Lake Yellowstone's still having some weird issues on there. Not sure what's going on with their data system. The one I am using on the live seismograph station is functioning properly, but their recording station there for this one, LKWY Lake Yellowstone, is just not working all that good. A little bit of activity there in Borehole, it looks like, right around the earthquake swarm region where we see in the past couple days. It has relatively calmed down, but hasn't completely died off, as you can tell. A couple small quakes there with this red, that little black speck there. And some more earthquake prior earlier in the morning, but pretty quiet for the most part. Just kind of waiting to see what happens here. Like I said, tremor map picking up pretty good there in southern Oregon. We'll have to keep an eye on that region. Today, in this day in earthquake history, we talk about an 8.4 earthquake that struck the southern Sumatra, Indonesia area back in 2007. This was not that huge earthquake that a lot of folks think of that struck this same area back in 2004. That was around, one day after Christmas, 2004, when that 9.3 earthquake struck back there and then created that major tsunami. This one did create a tsunami, caused some building damage in the area here. And unfortunately, some fatalities were included in that. 56,000 buildings damaged. Of course, an 8.4 earthquake is a powerful earthquake. Also on this day in history, September 12th, 1981, 6.2 earthquake there, northern Kashmir region. Quite a few injuries and whatnot there as well. 5.9 back in Truckee. See, this is the Intermountain, or kind of Sierra Nevada region here. I don't even remember hearing about this earthquake, 1966. September 12th, 1966, a 5.9 earthquake struck the Truckee area. That is just north of Lake Tahoe. There in the California region there, Sierra Nevadas. Pretty good strong quake up there. Looks like minor but extensive fractures in the ground were observed in the area northeast of Truckee, extending 16 kilometers. Wow. This was a main shock in a series occurring near Boca. It was felt over a large area of east central California and northwest Nevada. So earthquakes could no doubt happen there within that region of the Sierra Nevada. Kind of scary. I stay up in Reno quite a bit. Not lately because of the virus issue, but some of the taller motels and whatnot. I used to take my kids to there, Circus and areas there. And we'd always stay like on the very top floor. And man, I just keep thinking about what would happen if an earthquake struck the Reno area. And good thing it didn't. But they can get earthquakes up there, there's no doubt. That's for sure. Let's switch back over here to the live view here. See what's going on there at Lake Yellowstone. See, they're getting that little signal that I was talking about there on the seismograph stations. They're pretty much all equally spread out, all equally same measurement here. So some type of interference, not earthquake related, folks, and definitely not a heartbeat in the ground, unless there's who knows what, maybe a dragon in the ground. You never know. All right, folks, have a good night. Peace out. Stay safe out there Saturday night. It's pretty crazy here in this little town I live in, so I'm just staying inside and living the antisocial life. Have a good night. Peace out.